Don't reach. Hey, drop it!
I got something lighter. He's got balloons.
Do not take off! Get back down here!
Catch me if you can, boys.
Damn it, he's going up!
Need air support now.
Ma'am, please step off the broom and keep your hands where I can see them. Whoa, dispatch, I need backup. She's airborne.
Tonight, Russia reveals creatures so violent, so wrong, cameras caught them before science could blink in frozen darkness.
This footage is not myth or folklore for clicks. These are raw recordings from forests, villages, tundra roads, shapes that crawl, stare, imitate, and move with intent. Scientists argue biology, hoaxes, mutations, anything to avoid the truth, yet nothing fits. Bones bend wrong, eyes reflect wrong, behavior feels deliberate. Something is surviving where humans disappear, and the cameras caught it enough to prove Russia is hiding nightmares science cannot name.
Before we begin, like, subscribe, and comment to uncover these Russian horrors together.
Security footage from a closed mall glitches violently as a massive horned silhouette steps through a shattered storefront. Glass buckles outward. Metal frames twist under its weight as it enters the empty corridor without hesitation. A thick torso rotates with mechanical stiffness. Curved horn-like growths scrape upward into view. Yellow eyes flash once, then fix on the camera. Structural damage suggests extreme skeletal hypertrophy, far beyond natural growth patterns. Dense muscle mass combines with hardened keratin formations erupting from the skull, forming asymmetrical horns. Despite its size, the creature moves with unsettling balance, adjusting weight like a trained fighter rather than a stumbling brute. Leg joints bend through unnatural arcs, hinting at a warped ungulate lineage or engineered mutation. Investigators note how long it remained undetected in a public structure designed for constant surveillance. The mall wasn't empty because it arrived because it knew it was empty. If something this large can move through commercial spaces unseen, the real concern isn't what it is, but how carefully it chooses when and where to appear. A patrol flashlight sweeps roadside brush and stops dead. Pressed flat against the dirt is a long-haired, pitch-dark figure, fingers sunk into the soil like roots anchoring a body that shouldn't bend that way. A hunched outline shifts almost imperceptibly. Hair parts to reveal glowing green eyes. Limbs unfold wider than any joint should allow. Biologists reviewing the footage suggest extreme vertebral overextension combined with abnormally elastic tendon tissue. Possible causes range from prolonged chemical exposure to evolutionary divergence in deep forest environments. The creature's frame carries immense weight, yet it moves forward without sound, joints flexing far beyond mammalian norms. What alarms experts is posture. This thing is built to stay low, to avoid detection, to move beneath lines of sight. Crawling is not a limitation, it's a strategy. If it can traverse open ground silently while pressed flat to the earth, vertical surfaces would present no challenge at all. Walls, trees, buildings, none of them were ever meant to stop it. Helmet cam footage from a classified desert dig records the ground tearing itself open. Sand collapses inward, then explodes outward as a multi-limbed mass forces its way through a rusted subterranean hatch never marked on any map. A swollen, fur-matted body heaves upward, captured mid-breach. Crooked limbs claw wildly, flashing in broken frames. Cold green eyes snap toward the lens, alert, aware, furious. Frame-by-frame analysis reveals a body that doesn't follow a single evolutionary logic. Primate muscle density clashes with spider-like joint articulation. Limbs vary in length, reinforced by tubular ridges resembling a partial exoskeleton. Its posture is collapsed and unstable, yet tension coils beneath the surface, suggesting explosive speed when triggered. Whether the result of genetic engineering, radiation exposure, or something far older is unknown. What is clear is this: it didn't fall from the sky. It came from underneath us. And if one thing was sealed down there long enough to be forgotten, there may be others still pressing upward, waiting for another rupture. Street surveillance footage reveals multiple blue-skinned figures standing within a dense crowd. They barely move, only subtle head tilts and finger flexes as police lights sweep over them. Bulbous heads angle forward together. Elongated fingers twitch in rhythm. Black eyes track officers simultaneously. Still frame analysis shows smooth, featureless skin with ceramic-like reflectivity and thin, fragile limbs. Movement patterns are synchronized, not commanded, but shared, like insects responding to a single signal. Experts speculate biosynthetic organisms designed for low-light environments and mass blending. That is the terror. They aren't hiding. They're integrating. If this many can stand openly in public without detection, then safety is no longer about visibility. It's about realizing infiltration doesn't require secrecy, only numbers. A patrol light sweeps across a parked car and stops. Through the fogged window, a figure leans forward, condensation sliding down the glass as its mouth stretches into an impossibly wide grin. Lips pull back far past natural limits. Thin shoulders twitch in sharp pulses. White eyes lock onto the light without blinking. Forensic analysts suggest severe facial elongation combined with jaw dislocation, possibly driven by parasitic neurological control or progressive muscle tearing that forces the mouth into a fixed expression. The body slumps like a broken mannequin, yet vibrates with barely contained energy. Audio review captures distorted breathing, part wheeze, part gasp, suggesting dual respiratory systems competing for control. What makes the encounter unbearable is patience. The entity doesn't attack. It waits, inside the vehicle, in silence. If it's capable of remaining still this long, the question isn't whether it can escape the car, but whether it's waiting for someone else to open the door. Two flashlight beams converge in a forest clearing and stop. Standing perfectly still is a thin, hairless humanoid figure, head tilted slightly, as if studying the humans rather than fearing them. A narrow torso shifts almost imperceptibly. Long fingers curl downward with intent. Black eyes absorb light instead of reflecting it. Biological assessment points to extreme limb disproportion, smooth dermal texture, and recessed musculature, traits inconsistent with known terrestrial evolution. The body appears optimized for silent movement and minimal energy loss. Its posture is upright, fragile, statue-like, yet the way it turns its head suggests fluid, predatory awareness. Some investigators draw parallels to skinwalker accounts due to its shape and complete lack of emotional response. What chills viewers most is restraint. It doesn't flee, it doesn't attack, it simply observes. And if this is how it behaves while being watched, the real question is unsettlingly simple. What does it do when no one is pointing a light at it anymore? During a late-night sweep of a condemned duplex, an officer's body camera captures a figure emerging from the corner of a collapsed hallway. Its skin hangs tight over exposed bone as the flashlight beam washes across a ribcage that rises and falls too fast. A starved outline drifts forward into view. Its chest spasms violently, once, then stills. Glossy white eyes reflect the light without blinking. Slow-motion review shows extreme bone thinning paired with joints that bend in reverse, beyond mammalian limits. The limbs sway loosely, as if disconnected, yet when it moves, it does so with terrifying precision. Analysts suggest severe muscular decay combined with abnormal neurological adaptation, possibly the result of infection, chemical exposure, or prolonged isolation underground. What makes the footage disturbing is behavior. The entity reacts not to sound, but to motion. It tracks vibration through the floor, adjusting before the officer moves. It doesn't stalk, it calculates. If this thing learned to predict human movement instead of reacting to it, the encounter would already be over before anyone realized it had begun. The recording opens in chaos. A man struggles in the sand as a massive, deformed head forces itself upward from the darkness below. Its jaws stretch wider than anatomy allows, skin pulling tight as the mouth opens far past any natural hinge. A rubbery snout bucks violently into view. Oversized teeth slam together in erratic rhythm. Milky white eyes roll back, unfocused yet alert. Structural analysis of the jaw shows extreme mandibular overextension fused with hardened gum ridges, suggesting either deep-sea evolutionary pressure or chemically altered bone growth. The mouth expands like a broken bear trap, then snaps shut with crushing force, comparable to industrial hydraulics. Witnesses reported a stench of hot metal and rot, as if internal tissue was decaying while still alive. What terrifies investigators is scale. This was not a full organism, only the head. If something capable of this exists below the surface, the unanswered question isn't what it is, but where the rest of it moved after the camera stopped recording. The footage opens beside a stagnant marsh, thick with reeds and fog. Perched on a half-submerged log crouches a humanoid shape, its back arched beneath a rigid shell-like plating that glistens wetly under the light. A hunched green torso jerks into motion, webbed hands clamp down, gripping wood with force. Yellow eyes snap upward, territorial and alert. Biological analysts suspect a radical amphibious restructuring, bones shortened and thickened, spine reinforced beneath hardened dorsal armor. The creature's build is squat and compressed, like a collapsed tire, yet capable of explosive movement across slick surfaces. Its low growl carries a metallic resonance beneath breath, hinting at dual vocal chambers vibrating out of sync. What stands out is behavior. It doesn't flee, it guards. Shallow water appears claimed, defended. If this entity has adapted to dominate marshland edges where humans still wander, the deeper swamps, uncharted, unseen, may already belong to something far less willing to tolerate intrusion. A flashlight sweeps along the rotting exterior of an abandoned shed and freezes. Pressed against the wall is a pale quadruped mutant, elongated arms braced wide as if preparing to launch. A crooked grin twitches across its face. Veins pulse visibly beneath thin gray skin. Red eyes track the beam with cold precision. Experts reviewing the footage note extreme ligament overstretching paired with fragile bone density, creating a body that looks ready to snap, yet moves with terrifying speed. Its posture is collapsed and crooked, like a broken streetlight, but its pivots are razor-sharp, optimized for ambush. Similar tissue samples from related sightings reportedly show unstable cellular regeneration, consistent with failed biological experimentation. What alarms investigators most is positioning. This creature clings to vertical surfaces instinctively. Walls are not barriers, they are staging points. If it has already mastered silent movement at ground level, rooftops may only be the next step in its hunting pattern. Under flashing patrol lights on a deserted highway, officers watch in disbelief as a towering giraffe-like creature steps directly into the road, swaying as if unsure where it belongs. Long legs tremble under uneven weight. An elongated neck sweeps the air cautiously. Dark eyes blink slowly, unreadable. Though resembling a giraffe, its proportions are subtly wrong. Legs appear too thin to support its mass. Vertebrae misaligned, joints shifting unnaturally with each step. Analysts suggest either a genetically altered escapee from illegal breeding operations or a poorly stabilized hybrid never meant to survive long-term. Its silhouette lurches like a malfunctioning crane, yet raw strength remains, enough to crush metal in a single panicked strike. What unsettles responders isn't aggression, but displacement. This animal doesn't belong here, yet it's here anyway. If one such creature can wander onto a highway unnoticed, how many others are already moving through rural roads, misplaced, unstable, and one shock away from catastrophe? The footage shows an elderly woman leaning into a doorway, greeting officers with a smile that feels rehearsed. Too wide, too steady, too eager. Wrinkled skin pulls tight across rigid bone. Sunken cheeks twitch once, then still. Amber eyes reflect light like an animal's. Forensic specialists observe abnormal calcification beneath the skin, giving her face a stiff, preserved quality. Her eyes exhibit reflective properties similar to nocturnal predators, not humans. Neurological analysis suggests facial muscles locked into an artificial expression. Friendliness used as camouflage rather than emotion. The most disturbing aspect is proximity. This entity invites interaction. It welcomes. It lowers defenses. Investigators note that violence often follows thresholds, doorways, entries, moments of permission. If something greets authority with a smile this carefully constructed, the real terror isn't what it shows in public, but what expression it drops the moment the door finally closes behind you. A grainy black and white photograph, archived as part of an old behavioral study, shows something profoundly wrong. In a brightly decorated playroom, children appear to be holding down a horned, multi-limbed creature, smiling, while the subject itself twists unnaturally. A long neck cranes outward under restraint. 6 thin limbs thrash in blurred motion. Pale eyes stare forward, empty and unblinking. Experts suggest a malformed fusion of primate flexibility and ungulate skeletal curvature. Cartilage horns protrude from a skull too fragile to support them, giving the creature an unbalanced puppet-like appearance. Its body is thin and lightweight, yet moves with exaggerated elasticity, as if controlled by tension rather than muscle. Some historians link the image to early anomalous sightings decades before digital manipulation existed. The most unsettling detail isn't its appearance, it's its behavior. It doesn't resist, it tolerates. If this entity allowed itself to be handled by children, what reaction was it suppressing, and who conditioned it to do so? Inside a gym, officers attempt to restrain a person whose back suddenly twists. Skin ripples as vertebrae slide beneath it, rearranging in real time. A spine bends sideways violently. Shoulder blades protrude, then retract. Eyes track movement from impossible angles. Medical evaluators suggest hyperflexible cartilage and extreme muscular displacement, allowing joints to fold beyond human limits. The body appears unstable, nearly collapsing, yet erupts with sudden strength, as if a new skeletal configuration is forcing itself into place. This wasn't injury, it was transition. No chemicals, no visible trigger. The change began under stress alone. If transformation can occur spontaneously, it implies something dormant, waiting for the right conditions. And if one body can reorganize itself publicly, others may already be changing unseen, behind closed doors. The clip erupts in panic. An officer sprints from a front porch as something small gives chase. Its silhouette no bigger than a child's doll, yet moving with relentless speed. A compact figure lurches forward. Smooth, plastic-like limbs swing stiffly. Bead-black eyes tilt upward, unafraid. Behavioral specialists argue the entity is not a toy, but a compact synthetic organism designed for infiltration. Its joints rotate far beyond commercial manufacturing limits, and its movement shows adaptive tracking rather than random motion. Though child-sized, its gait carries unnatural weight, suggesting dense internal components where organs should be. The horror lies in scale. This thing doesn't overpower, it slips through. It doesn't need strength, only access. If a unit this small can pursue an armed officer openly, then quiet homes, dark hallways, and unlocked doors offer it everything it needs to remain unseen. During a rain-soaked traffic stop, body cam footage captures a pale woman seated behind the wheel. She smiles, but the expression never changes. Lips stretched too wide, locked in place. Her eyes never blink, never shift. Pale irises shimmer unnaturally in the rain. Analysts note incomplete mimicry, slack muscle tone, misaligned joints, and a facial expression held like a mask rather than animated emotion. The body appears heavy, inert, yet subtle vibrations ripple beneath the skin, as if something else is bracing inside. Comparisons to skinwalker folklore emerge due to the predatory stillness paired with human appearance. This isn't possession in the dramatic sense, it's piloting. If this was an early attempt at imitation, flawed and obvious, the implications are chilling. The next one may smile, blink, and speak perfectly, and no one may realize the difference until it steps out of the car. The footage detonates without warning. A car window shatters outward as a feline head bursts through, surrounded by a violent halo of orange fragments that spin and spark like living embers. Jaws snap wide, teeth rattling uncontrollably. Shredded debris spirals upward against gravity. Amber eyes lock forward with predatory clarity. Frame-by-frame analysis suggests skull plates forced apart beyond natural limits, paired with hyperstimulated jaw musculature. Biologists speculate chemical overload or parasitic enhancement driving the animal far past normal physical thresholds. Its movement mimics a cheetah's explosive acceleration, but the particulate storm around it behaves unnaturally, hovering, vibrating, reacting to motion as if magnetized. Heat distortion ripples through the air, suggesting extreme kinetic output. What terrifies reviewers isn't aggression, it's compression. This much force was generated inside a confined vehicle. If this creature were given open terrain, no walls, no limits, no obstacles, containment would become meaningless. Speed would stop being an advantage. It would become a weapon. A narrow corridor shakes as officers give chase. Ahead of them, a massive gray-bodied entity barrels forward, its arms dragging low like wrecking balls, while fluorescent lights flicker overhead. A broad torso lurches side to side. Elongated legs slam the floor in thunderous rhythm. White eyes flash backward, measuring distance. Experts reviewing the footage identify extreme muscular hypertrophy paired with spinal deformation, creating a hunched frame as heavy as industrial equipment. Despite its bulk, it accelerates with horrifying efficiency. Each stride stretches its limbs like a misaligned crane, barely held together yet devastatingly fast. Walls scrape, lights shatter, air pressure shifts as it passes. Officers struggle to breathe, not from fear alone, but from the sheer displacement of mass. What alarms analysts most is spatial restriction. This creature is running contained. If it reaches open ground, parking lots, streets, fields, distance becomes irrelevant. Speed plus endurance equals disappearance. And whatever runs this fast doesn't need to hide. A flashlight tilts upward and stops cold. Clinging to the ceiling is a human-shaped figure moving upside down, limbs bending backward as if gravity doesn't apply. A pale torso crawls silently overhead. Fingers stretch across plaster like hooks. Black eyes rotate independently, tracking below. Forensic specialists suggest ligament restructuring and abnormal blood flow regulation, allowing inverted movement without disorientation. The spine bends like a tensioned cable, distributing weight across joints built to grip rather than stand. Its hands and feet combine muscular strength with adhesive contact, turning ceilings into hunting ground. This isn't escape behavior, it's positioning. Predation from above. Analysts note zero sound, no scraping, no breathing. If this entity chooses to drop, the attack would be over before the victim looks up. Gravity isn't its enemy, it's part of the strategy. Bodycam footage captures officers entering a quiet, brightly lit living room. Decorations glow softly. Presents sit beneath a Christmas tree. Then the beam lands on something crouched among the gifts, and it looks back. A shaggy green figure jerks upright. Long fingers curl inward too smoothly. Yellow eyes widen, reflecting recognition. Frame-by-frame review reveals elongated limb proportions beneath thick fur and abnormal spinal curvature that suggests the creature isn't wearing a costume, it's shedding or mimicking one. Its posture is collapsed and hunched, yet its movement is fluid, controlled, predatory. Analysts note deliberate interaction with human objects, not random disturbance. This wasn't confusion, it was exploration. The behavior implies learning, observation followed by imitation. That's what alarms specialists most. If a non-human entity can replicate human rituals well enough to blend into domestic space, then intrusion doesn't require force. It only requires familiarity. And familiarity is something it appears to be practicing. Dashcam footage jolts as something glides into view, hovering inches above the asphalt. A shark-like form moves forward smoothly, tail swinging with measured rhythm as if cutting through water instead of air. A streamlined body tilts with control. A dorsal fin slices the darkness silently. Blue eyes flicker with alert awareness. Analysts believe the creature utilizes a hybridized lift mechanism, possibly gas-filled sacs or electromagnetic propulsion structures beneath dense muscle tissue. Its body remains torpedo-heavy, yet its motion is frictionless, deliberate, precise. It doesn't float, it cruises, like a drone wrapped in living flesh. Some researchers speculate experimental biotechnology designed to adapt aquatic predators for aerial environments. What chills responders is efficiency. This thing isn't struggling to stay airborne, it's conserving energy. If it can glide this effortlessly at night, adapting fully to airspace may not be evolution. It may simply be the next phase. An officer's body cam trembles as a brightly colored clown figure hovers inches above a gas station floor. Balloons tug upward uselessly, offering no explanation for the suspension. Oversized shoes dangle freely. Painted lips hold a frozen grin. Pupils twitch rapidly, tracking movement. Investigators note no visible support system. The body's buoyancy appears internal, possibly the result of reduced mass density or an underlying exoskeletal frame beneath the costume. The posture is stiff, unnatural, yet it sways rhythmically, like a predator rocking before a strike. Its motion resembles a marionette animated by unseen tension rather than strings. Bone structure appears light, almost hollow, similar to avian anatomy. What unsettles analysts most is altitude potential. This thing isn't jumping, it's floating. And if it can hover this steadily near the ground, the sky becomes an option, not a barrier. A dropped phone lies face up in leaf litter, still recording. The footage captures a gray-skinned humanoid clamping elongated teeth into a hiker's shoulder, dragging him backward toward the tree line. A twisted jaw snaps sideways into frame. Clawed fingers sink deeper with each pull. Silver eyes narrow, focused, deliberate. Forensic review highlights severe asymmetry in the jaw hinge and shoulder structure, likely caused by accelerated evolutionary stress or exposure to neuro-altering agents. Despite its gaunt build, the creature strikes with explosive force, using leverage rather than mass. Its posture is collapsed, spine bent forward, yet every movement is efficient. There is no wasted motion, no hesitation. The forest absorbs both figures within seconds. No screams follow, no pursuit footage exists. Investigators note how often disappearances near wooded trails lack signs of struggle. If something this quiet can overpower a healthy adult in seconds, then missing person statistics may not represent accidents, but encounters that never leave evidence behind. Body cam footage from a routine traffic stop shows a woman sitting unnaturally still behind the wheel. Her window is half open, her face barely moves. Her eyes stare forward as if the body no longer belongs to her. Her head tilts with delayed precision. Unblinking eyes shimmer faintly. A shaking license slips from rigid fingers. Forensic analysts note tendon stiffness consistent with post-mortem dehydration, yet her pupils still react and shallow breathing occurs in uneven spasms. The contradiction suggests neuromuscular override, something animating a body that should no longer function. Movements lag, like commands passing through dead circuits. What alarms investigators most is functionality. This entity wasn't violent, it was compliant, driving, waiting. If something can operate a vehicle and obey authority without suspicion, imitation has already crossed into everyday life. A flashlight beam cuts across an open field and freezes. Charging low across the grass is a skeletal canine-shaped figure, its bones visibly pressing through thin, leathery skin as it runs. A ribcage twists sideways mid-stride. Rear legs fold backward at impossible angles. Green eyes flash once, then vanish into darkness. Researchers examining the footage note a body plan resembling a starved quadruped, but warped. Forelimbs are elongated, shoulders overdeveloped, and the skull appears masked by exposed bone or a hardened fungal layer. Despite its emaciated form, the creature accelerates with violent speed, like a racing animal stripped of all non-essential mass. Its movement pattern matches historical reports of bone-thin predators blamed for livestock mutilations, creatures that struck fast and disappeared before sunrise. What's disturbing is efficiency. This thing wastes nothing. If it continues adapting at this pace, the question becomes grimly practical. When livestock no longer sustains it, what replaces them as prey? A doorbell camera records an elderly figure leaning too close to the lens. The smile is stretched unnaturally wide, teeth glowing uneven yellow under infrared light. The jaw snaps open too fast, hollow cheeks twitch, then freeze. Amber eyes reflect like an animal's. Biological review suggests cranial shrinkage combined with overstretched facial muscles, locking the face into a grin resembling rigor rather than emotion. Skin appears thin and papery, layered as if repeatedly shed. The eyes retain nocturnal reflectivity, inconsistent with human aging. Investigators believe the expression is deliberate, meant to disarm. Thresholds are moments of vulnerability. Doors invite trust. If this entity understands that, the smile isn't friendliness, it's camouflage. And when the camera stops recording, whatever replaces that expression was never meant to be seen. Behind a dumpster, an officer's camera captures a small gray-skinned figure crouched low, clutching a half-eaten sandwich. It looks up slowly, oversized black eyes calm and unreadable. A narrow neck rotates silently. Thin fingers tighten around food. The gaze lingers, assessing. Experts suggest reduced musculature with expanded cranial capacity, optimized for minimal movement and observation. Its lightweight frame resembles hollow-boned animals, yet dexterity implies learning rather than instinct. This isn't panic feeding. It's deliberate foraging. The figure doesn't flee or freeze. It watches. That behavior unsettles analysts more than appearance. Recognizing food sources is the first step toward understanding providers. If it can learn where food comes from, how long before it learns who gives it, and how to approach without triggering fear. A porch camera shows a hairless, elongated figure crouched on a suburban sidewalk. Its limbs are too long, spine bowed as it slowly turns toward the house. A skeletal frame unfolds slightly. Knobby joints rotate backward with ease. Black eyes lift toward the door. Investigators note abnormal tendon elasticity and warped vertebrae, suggesting a body not designed for upright stillness. Its posture appears collapsed, yet perfectly balanced, ready. What stands out is patience. The creature doesn't test entry, it watches. Analysts interpret this as ambush behavior, conserving energy until a trigger appears. The sidewalk becomes a boundary, a threshold. If something can wait silently this long, the question isn't whether it wants to enter, but what signal it's waiting for before it does. Traffic cameras auto-adjust as a pale figure drags itself into the center of an empty roadway. Its body collapses inward as it moves, limbs folding backward at impossible angles while its weight scrapes against asphalt. A cracked snout lifts sharply toward the lens. Arms bend backward under their own strain. Green reflective eyes widen as operators freeze. Technical breakdown shows severe vertebral distortion paired with unstable neuromuscular firing. Its skeletal structure resembles a broken human frame, overlaid with animal reinforcement plates shifting beneath stretched, oil-slick skin. Movement appears erratic, almost failing, until sudden bursts of speed puncture the illusion of weakness. Analysts believe the creature exists in a constant state of collapse, compensating with violent reflexes rather than coordinated motion. That makes it unpredictable, dangerous. If this entity can lunge with such speed while physically degrading, the implication is chilling. Stability wouldn't make it slower, it would make it unstoppable. After witnessing these recordings, one truth becomes impossible to ignore. Whatever is appearing in these videos is not accidental, isolated, or easily dismissed. Across cities, highways, forests, and homes, the same pattern repeats. Entities that watch, imitate, wait, and adapt. They do not rush. They do not panic. They observe us quietly, learning how we move, how we trust, how we live. That alone is more unsettling than any moment of violence caught on camera. These clips force us to confront a deeper question than UFO or not. If something can blend into